Good afternoon, everyone. Gabe Velazquez here with you, transparenttrading-solutions.com for a Tuesday, 19th September. Hope everybody is doing well. Let's get right into it. So I have a class coming up in 2 days on Thursday. If you would like to join me for that, talk about options and trying to mimic some of the moves in stocks. As you know, lots of stocks moving. We've got some IPOs working right now. We've got, Instacart just came out. There are, lots of stuff going on under the surface. These retailers are just getting smacked. The Dollar General, they are coming into some really significant levels. So they've beaten those stocks down. So, a way to capture some of that is to learn how to play options and get that, get that big bang for your buck using Delta and stuff. So if you want to learn those type of strategies, again, classes this Thursday. It is filling up pretty fast. I want to limit it to a certain amount of people. I have about over 30 signed up already. So I think I'm going to cap it not that much further from that. So again, go ahead and sign up and we'll go from there. Okay. All right. Let's get into the markets. Was here with you Friday. We had a sell-off. Then we've gone sideways. Let's actually get into the charts real quick here and move along. So starting with the S&P, on the S&P, we had the sell-off Friday, which kind of paused here for a little bit. Last, yesterday and Sunday, they attempted another sell-off today, and we came right down to these this rollover gap, if you will. And also, by the way, remember I was talking about this the other day. This also corresponds to the SPY level, this area here. So this area here, using the contract specific, matches up pretty closely. So you can make a case either way. We did get a nice bounce away from that, essentially putting us right back where we were Friday. So, the chop continues, no progress in either direction. And tomorrow, the Fed, we'll see if we get a big, strong reaction from the Fed. Or the last couple of Fed meetings, we really haven't had any big reactions, honestly, right? We've had all the reactions coming from the economic numbers. You can point, like, remember that rally there came from the jolts. That sell-off here came from the manufacturing index and so on and so on. So every one of these big moves has come from economic data, not from the Fed. Fed has been, every Fed meeting in the last couple of meetings has really not had any meaningful impact. Maybe that's going to change as we get closer to the end of the rate cycle, as many think. I do believe we're getting close to that, but throw the monkey wrench in with oil prices and still inflation sticky. We'll see. So all in all, lots of chop. I would still, overall, until we break 4,400, I would still deem this a range market, nothing more, nothing less, and treat it as such. Buy extremes, sell. Buy extremes and sell extremes. That's the way I would treat it. Now, similarly on the NASDAQ, you can see we've basically now looks like we may come down to, in fact, down below here would be some really good buying opportunities. We came off of that guy right there today, right there. And again, attempted a bounce, and similar to the S&P, we're simply right back to where we were on Friday. Okay, so no progress, even though this morning, again, this is why I've been telling people, don't chase these moves, especially when you're range trading. If you chase that move down, thought the market was going to continue going lower, obviously you got whipsawed again. And so again, in a broad sense, treat this as a range market, nothing more, nothing less. All of these markets bounced off their gaps. You can see the Dow. Nothing meaningful tomorrow. I think is going to be if we do have a big reaction, then we could probably get us at least either push down to the next levels or up. But again, I would buy on any push down to the lower levels. Looking at the VIX too, I've been looking at that as in fact I did a class a month ago or so. We did break 13. That gave us the sell-off. We're hanging right around 15. If we can break 15, then I think market will sell off pretty sharply, and then probably up to 1820 would be where the VIX goes. But very, very quiet to this point. If we get a strong rally tomorrow or going into the end of the week, that should push us down to 12 and maybe up. That would be a selling opportunity using the VIX as a key indicator there. So bonds, nothing. Bonds did interestingly sell off some more. This is going to be key. Are we going to break the 30-year and the 10-year lows? The 10-year looks like that's on the cusp right here. This 109, let's call it 108.28, 109. That's going to be the next key level. We actually did have some selling in the bond market here late in the day going into the Fed. Tomorrow, obviously, will be, again, very key for the bond market. Dollar, not a lot going on there. Just hanging around this 105 level of 105.50. It's been churning here now for 4 or 5 days. Really done nothing in the last week or so. We do have Bank of Japan, Bank of England, and Bank of Switzerland coming out on Thursday. So that also, I think Bank of Japan will actually be the most impactful of all those central banks, aside from our FOMC tomorrow. So we'll see how that pans out, and I think that's going to really by Friday we should have a big move out of the dollar, either breaking out to the upside or further. I suspect we're probably peaking in the dollar, but you never know. But again, Thursday is going to be a big day for the dollar with the Bank of Japan and all those other central banks coming in again. All the other currencies, really not a lot going on there, just chopping around, not anything really to do on the currency front. Canada, surprisingly, was the currency that has been moving, probably because of the oil rally we've had recently. So we did break out. So we had some nice breakout in the Canadian dollar, and they had a high inflation number as well. We've got resistance up here. We'll see if this, in fact, carries, or this is, again, just a false move. If the dollar really falls off, which I suspect, then we probably have a continuation of this rally in the Canadian dollar. So Canadian dollar perking up a little bit. Mexican peso also, after these huge moves, we still are looking for an opportunity in the peso. And then New Zealand and Aussie just kind of sideways here, nothing really happening there. Silver also looks like it wants to move, but largely just kind of sideways. The market that's been moving quite a bit is platinum. If you trade platinum, we've had some really big swings in this thing. Looks like we're probably headed right back up again after these massive swings. So this is something, if you are interested, it's a big market, $50 a point. So you got to be careful because they're obviously, with high risk comes high profits. But it is a big market. It's a thinner market. So make sure you understand that before you come in. And I don't have really anything on that, but be careful if you're going to trade that platinum. Oil, we were in oil, as I mentioned, on Friday. We had rollover, which created this gap, and that created that gap. We actually were short. We were up a little bit, and then we ended up getting out with a small loss on oil, and now we're trying to get back into USO. I do believe oil is probably peaking. You can see today they took it up and filled that rollover gap, which is really interesting here. The rollover gap filled, and then they sold it off, broke 91, and kind of just meandering. So this is an important inflection point, I think, in oil. Everybody's super bullish on oil. All the analysts are now calling for $100 a barrel and all that. So that leads me to believe that we're probably closer to a high than a low, when everybody everybody starts getting bullish on something. It's usually the end of the run, not the beginning. Everybody remember, similar down when it was down at 65, everybody's calling 45 oil, and everybody hated oil and thought oil was going to fall off the cliff down here, right? And now is really curiously in the markets. That happens all the time. Now that we've had this massive run up, now everybody seems to be wanting to get bullish on oil. Go figure, right? And then you wonder why most people lose money doing this. In any event, we'll see how that goes. Nat gas also looks like it's ready for a breakout. We are long nat gas at TTS using Boyle calls. We've been in this thing. This has been all over the place here. We got rollover coming up and inventories. We did come down to this. We gapped into this level on Sunday right there. And then we, had a nice pop. We still have to get past this. If we get through this, now we have a, oil is backwardation. So all the back contracts, all the, contracts going on to next year are actually lower in price, whereas nat gas is in contango, which means all of the forward contracts are higher price. So there's going to be a gap on the rollover. We're going from the October contract. November is actually above 3, so we're going to get a big gap on the rollover, and we'll see if this carries above that and keeps going and breaks and moves out of this big massive range in nat gas. Then the range is right here. You can see it on the weekly chart. So if we can break above 3 right up here, then there's a lot of runway up to the upside here. You can see we've been fairly range trading for a year almost, right? Since the invasion of Ukraine, Russia last year, which we had all this massive volatility, and now with weather, with winter coming, and Europe, last year they had a very mild winter, which contained the price of nat gas, but maybe things are going to change. We got hurricanes and all that, so we'll see how that goes. And then on the finally on the grain markets, not a lot going on. Also, we've got some big swings in soybeans. We're coming into some levels below that I'm interested in, but the rest of the two other markets, wheat and corn, have been just very, very choppy for now going on. Again, all month of August and September, you can see very, very rangy on this market. Similar on corn. So corn has also, been very choppy and range bound. So we know that there's going to be some kind of a breakout in this thing. So all in all, again, big ranges, very choppy trading all across the board, across all the markets. Even some stocks are tracking the S&P, but perhaps tomorrow with the Fed, if they give some clear signal that they are pretty much done, I believe we may have a really strong rally. If on the other hand they tell you that they're going to keep raising and then so on and so forth, that can be the opposite. But you never know. We'll see how the market reacts. One thing we do know is that we probably get some knee-jerk reaction. And also Thursday, I think, is going to be big for the dollar with all those central banks, especially Bank of Japan. So keep an eye on that and wait for your levels. Again, if you want to join the class, sign up on there's going to be a link below. If you want to contact me, transparenttrading.solutions.com. Support at transparenttrading.solutions.com. The links are below. If not, I will see you on Friday. Have a good rest of your week, and we'll talk then. Take care.